He's an 8-time Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Award winner. And he snapped a ball through his legs.
Wait, why does your name get to go first?
I don't know.
This is Scone T.
Because they made us.
All right, what's good, y'all? Scone T, pre-Christmas, final show before the Christmas holiday. I'm off next week, too, so you can go solo before the new year. My last show of 2022. How about that, friend?
You're off next week?
Signing Day edition. We're here at Oliver Twist.
What is next Wednesday? 28th or something? Yeah, I'm good for that. All right. I'll do solo. Actually, I might get somebody fun in and just
thanks.
Hijack an episode and just talk about Star Wars the entire time or something.
You know the best part about it being cold? And I hate cold weather.
Getting to wear my Christmas sweater?
The best part about it being cold is that I don't have to watch you wear that godforsaken fucking blue Star Wars shirt.
Try again, bitch. Because I looked at it in the closet and was like right before I came up here, 15 minutes ago, I was like, and then I was like, nah, I want to wear my Star Wars Christmas sweater instead.
The first picture with your newborn child, you're wearing that godforsaken fucking shirt.
Well, shouldn't you wear your favorite thing to wear when you have a kid? I feel like
you should wear something that in future generations of A-Bears, when they look at the first ever photo between Granddad T-Bob and Bobby the Fourth, they're not like, why was Granddad T-Bob a moron wearing that ugly shirt? It's like when I look at my dad's wedding photo. He's like wearing an all-white tuxedo.
They'd be like, God damn.
It's so 1970s.
Look at Papaw T. He's got so much chest hair and he's so attractive and beautiful, long, flowing locks. And oh my God, is that Star Wars? By that point, Star Wars is going to be an actual, literal religion. Oh, we're good, dude.
What in the world happened there? What you got?
I don't know what this is.
That's a cinnamon stick in there.
Is that a cinnamon stick in here? What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here?
What is that, Wiggins?
That has no name.
This has no name.
It's the drink with no name.
So it's the Voldemort. It's he who shall not be named. So wait, if somebody wanted to order this, what'd they order?
They just come and they ask for the drink that shall not be named.
Okay, so if you ask for the drink that shall not be named, ooh, okay, a little Hogwarts
you just
vibes?
spilled
I'm
again.
down. It's to the top.
Well, then bring your lips to the glass, I guess. That's the unrefined way.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But it's the only way to not spill it.
Wow. That is a tasty holiday treat. Is that eggnog based? Is there whipped egg in there? What is this?
No, it's
Maybe it's a cinnamon. It's very thick. Okay, cinnamon cream to the cow. That makes sense. Yeah, it's very thick. Tasty cock. A tasty cock nonetheless. Thank you, Matt.
By the way, your head is getting cut off by the Oliver Twist logo.
Ew, that means I got to scoot closer to you.
Or Musso needs to not have the camera so far over.
I don't know. I need to cut my hair, dude. I'm fucking sick of dealing with my long hair, dude.
His head was half cut off by the Oliver Twist logo on the screen. His head was gone. I think they moved the table. Okay, so welcome in. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button.
Hit the like button, please.
Facebook, please like the 104.5 ESPN page, share the post.
Do it
Today is National Signing Day. Wait, real quick, Wiggins, real quick. A bottle? Nope, it's gone. The break-even bottle
got the break-even bottle already.
It's a Dickel rye, $8 a pour. And it's super allocated. George Dickel columns, rye.
Old Dickel?
Blended rye. Yep. George Dickel.
Hell yeah, man.
Dickel. Today's National Signing Day. Fond memories of National Signing. I remember covering the team whenever you signed. Remember, thinking it was ridiculous that there was a guy named T-Bob, kept searching for your actual name.
I heard the crowd pop at the Bayou Bash was actually pretty big when it came across the screen, not to lie.
I would not have been at the Bayou Bash.
Not to lie. Bayou Bash was fun as fuck, dude. When I used to cover it early radio, I had the best time there.
Bayou Bash was RIP to the Bash, because I know there's some people watching who I'm sure loved it. Bayou Bash was a great excuse for people to take off a day of work in February and drink beer at 10 a.m.
Okay, a.k.a. fun as fuck.
Yeah, that's great. That part of it's great. But Bayou Bash, in theory, seemed way better than it actually was, because you end up sitting in chairs, staring at a screen, at a table,
well, if you're not drinking,
if a name popped up.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not drinking, but then the crowd pop when you get a flip. The despair when you get flipped on. I thought it was all actually pretty wonderful. But obviously as a recruit, I could not be at the Bayou Bash. So, no, my signing memories are still pretty awesome. I got invited to some thing in Atlanta where ESPN Zone had a lot of the top Georgia recruits out. ESPN
I
Zone was
remember
like
ESPN Zone, yeah,
it was like a Dave and Buster's ESPN restaurant.
Hell yeah.
And so, thank you so much. What do we got here? What are these? The gumbo fries? Oh, the porridge with poutine. Let's go, dude.
It's the poontang. Oh, God.
But no, so we went to ESPN3. So I did like the sign at school. It was awesome. Very fun. Great moment. And then we had to go to ESPN Zone, and they gave us like a $200 card to play with, which is hilarious now as cats are signing. Like Drake May's getting offered $5 million. From 2 different schools. And cats are, I mean, some of the texts that I got on my phone right now from some guys that I know. I love Drake May.
I'm going to talk about that.
But like some of the texts that I have from guys that I love that are coaching right now, what they're telling me schools are giving kids, it's wild, bro. So it is wild. We're talking about some like average kids collecting $1 million.
Well, and so. Also, that's not actually happening. The rumors of numbers spent are far outpacing the actual numbers spent, but there is significant money being spent. So
Drake May didn't get offered $5 million?
Maybe. I don't know that. That may have happened, but
2 different schools, Miami and someone else.
But the thing about Drake May, like. I saw this. So for those that didn't hear, Drake May, the North Carolina quarterback, supposedly Mac Brown and several other coaches have said that he turned down. Schools are calling him, offering him $5 million, and I'm like, awesome for Drake May. Like everyone.
That he turned it down?
No.
Oh yeah.
Like. Go make $5 million, dude. If some fucking idiot's stupid enough to give you $5 million, go get your bag.
Yeah.
Like, you know who's pissed about it? Fucking coaches that are making millions of dollars. Fuck you, coach that's making millions of dollars.
I agree.
The fucking kid who's actually out there balling gets a chance to make $5 million. Good for him, bro. Go get your bag.
It's funny.
Get your fucking bag.
Me and Murray were kind of getting into this on Snaps a little bit because he's arguing for things like a salary cap and all this other stuff.
Shut the fuck up.
And it's inherently kind of anti-capitalist to me. Like you have to let we all believe in a free marketplace, right? You have to let the marketplace thrive. And I say that as someone who believes that long term this does not go well for LSU. Because I don't know if you'll be able to keep up with the Joneses if these numbers actually, like we'll see how the market shakes out, the numbers come down, whatever. LSU did great today. We'll get into that.
Yep.
But my point is like I don't know. I can't work up any energy about getting frustrated about kids getting money. Like I'm just fucking happy
Good for them.
I know,
yes.
I know.
Like what is wrong? Like the only people that are pushing back against that, one are the coaches because it severely complicates their roster management, which I understand.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, exactly. I can
shit.
empathize with you on like a job level, but it is what it is. It's your job.
And 2, it's fans that are worried about their players getting poached.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're worried about your players getting poached, then you're a have-not. I don't give a fuck about you anyway. So I don't care. Like I have what I care way more about is a dude that has this market value and has a chance to get his bag. Good for you.
So I got to imagine, though, I'm not saying that Drake May is going to get $5 million from UNC, but like I got to imagine Team Jordan putting together some.
Hopefully somebody stepped up.
And somebody's got to at least give him a modicum of that.
So I do an NIL podcast now.
I did not.
For those that don't know, it's called Rosters to Riches.
Do you call it MIL, Moscona Image Likeness?
No, it's me and Jonathan Pixley, who's one of the
I know his brother Chris well.
Yeah, yes. So Jonathan and Chris are brothers. Jonathan's older. Jonathan is one of the chief executives at Matchpoint. Okay?
Yeah, he used to be a baller.
Well, he was. Played at Calicut, went to Samford, actually made the LA Lakers. He tells a story. He got Brady the LSU job.
Yeah.
Because he was on the Samford team that beat LSU here. And anyway, so Pixley and I do an NIL podcast. So we record every week, and we record with athletes and coaches and media members and collective people. And every
do you have skin in the game? Like, does it behoove you to cheer for NIL because you have some sort of
By the way, I'm not getting paid to do the podcast.
Okay, that's what I was kind of asking.
I'm not getting paid to do the podcast.
I don't give a fuck either way. I want everybody to make money. I was just curious.
For disclosure, the podcast is under the Drop Biscuit Studios network, and Guarantee, our parent company, owns Drop Biscuit Studios. So I'm doing it as a means to help grow Drop Biscuit.
Yeah.
And maybe down the line at some point there's a revenue model, but I'm not getting paid to do it. So just disclosure. But what's been fascinating for me is I've learned so much about the space. And you were talking about Murray, and you could tell him this. we interviewed David Fleshman, who is an attorney in town who played basketball at LSU, but his primary focus right now is he's doing like NIL law, like sports and NIL law. And he said there is no shot that they will ever put a salary cap on NIL, a cap on NIL. If they do,
antitrust lawsuits.
There are lawsuits written.
Yeah.
There is literally no shot, and they will never win.
Yeah, I told Aaron that today.
So like.
But could because it seems like in the hiring of the new president, I forgot his name, but his political background, it feels like priority number one is trying to get a federal NIL policy over the state laws. But does that become antitrust as well?
But this is the other thing that I've learned is that there is, from the people who cover this at the highest level every single day, there is no appetite in Congress. In Congress, Congress is like, fuck y'all.
I mean, why would they? I mean, I feel you. These suits are out here, and this new knives and fucking pitchforks day and day of politics, these dudes are out there grinding for their life every day.
Bro, so
every day, both sides are just out for blood. They're not worried about college football, and if boosters are paying too much money.
Seriously. So, but the other thing I think that's interesting is look at what happened to A&M. And then we'll talk about the LSU class here in a second. But look at A&M. A year ago, because you just mentioned, will there be a correction? We saw it this year. A&M last year bought the greatest recruiting class ever.
Yeah.
And half those fucking guys are gone.
Yeah.
They got broke off, and now half of them are in the portal. And so A&M's boosters look and go, man, we wasted all that money for a bunch of dudes that we got them here. We paid to get them here. What I think is going to happen now is you're going to see those funds not necessarily taken away, but you're going to see them displaced. Instead of paying to get kids on campus.
Pay to retain them.
Pay to retain your roster is, I think, what's going to happen. I think that's the market shift that we're going to see with NIL. Like Kayshon Boutte's a great example of that. Kayshon last year was going to Alabama, and Gordon stepped up and was like, fuck that. And he did an NIL deal with Kayshon.
Yeah. And we talked to Gordon about that the other day, and he was basically saying, because I was asked about getting Kayshon to come back even next year, and he's like, the best thing about NIL is to give these kids options. Like, at least, like, if they want to improve. Like, they're like in the past, maybe a guy honestly thought, I don't know if I'm ready for the NFL, but I have to try to make money. Like, even practice squad is infinitely better than what I'm doing now. Maybe you have a family like Kayshon does. Like, it just gives you options. And again, I think that's a huge positive. Like, look at someone like Kayshon, a young father, who's mad at him getting paid to be able to provide and take care of his family.
Now he can afford diapers and formula and all the shit he's got to buy.
What are we talking about, dude? Hell no.
Good, great. I'm all. That's
I like James Bond comment here, Mr. Wiggins, bring forth your best dickle. Please allow me two finger of the dickle.
Like when I said Wiggins, I was like, that does sound like an English housekeeper. What would you call like a butler?
Also,
Wiggins.
Dickle. Yeah. Also, Dickle. Maybe I think it's just the Charles Dickens thing. But it sounds like appropriately Christmassy. A nice little Dickel bourbon.
Well, George Dickel is it's a Tennessee whiskey. Is George Dickel? But anyway, okay. Let's talk about the LSU class. Anything that completely jump out? I'm not great at recruiting. I know the broad strokes, right? You end up signing 25. You lose the 4-star cornerback to Oregon, who had a huge day, but you get Pimpton, who Shea talked up a lot on the show this morning. Like, I wasn't really aware of kind of the expectation level for Pimpton, but Shea's talking about this guy coming in and like having a Mason Taylor type impact year number one. I got to say, I love him and Markway as recruits. Now, Markway's been more interesting because I learned this today as well. Because, like, one of the things that jumped out at me sounds really stupid, but on social media, this cat Mac Markway's 18, and he looks like he's jacked, dude. He looks. Look, I mean, Brian Kelly had Travis Kelce at Cincinnati. Like, he knows.
Yes. Oh, he has that incredible
giant
resume.
Tight ends look like. Like, he knows what he's looking for. And so too does Mike Denbrock. Like, those two, that's. Yes, Mac Markway is a more complete player, I think, than Pimpton.
So it's interesting, because Shea was kind of talking about Pimpton more. So Markway's got an interesting path, though, where I guess he got hurt his junior year. And then senior year, something happened, like injury-wise, maybe before season started. And he said, look, I'm getting ready for college. And I'm going to be an early enrollee. And what we're talking about here, physically, it looks like he did not just say that and then do another thing. Like, it looks like he actually committed to that. Like, it looks like a cat who can come into spring practice, and if you see him on the field, he's not going to look out of place. In fact, he might look more. So the bottom line is I like both those tight ends a lot, and that's a position that LSU is only going to continue to thrive at.
They got a third guy, McGowan.
Yeah, and I don't know much about him, to be honest.
3-star, they got him last week. But, yeah, I mean, they had to load up at that position. I mean, you had one scholarship tight end. So you got 3 in this class. But you know what else is interesting about that? How many times do you ever see 3 guys at a position like that commit in the same class? Like, normally you're like, nah, if there's 3, I'm going to go somewhere where I have a clear path to the field. So, you know what I mean?
We play a lot of tight ends.
But that's the
point.
Like,
Denbrock wants to play at least 2 a lot of times.
That's the point. I think they can sell these guys. Hey, look, I don't care if you're – and I actually did this last week. I went and looked when they got the McGowan kid to commit. I went and looked at every year Brian Kelly was at Notre Dame. And most years they had 2 tight ends that had double-digit receptions and always a third tight end that was like 8 or 9 catch. So, like, they always got 3 involved in the offense, 2 primarily.
Well, and look at Notre Dame's best offensive player last couple of years, right?
Yeah, Michael Mayer.
Yeah, badass tight end recruited by Kelly. So I like that element of the class. Who's the badass pass rusher they got? I just retweeted it. Let me find it.
Womack is the edge. He's the 5-star edge.
And when an age where you're, and I'm not saying that he is the first answer in terms of who's next for B.J. Ojulari, but long term, Womack seems. And again, I should preface everything I say I'm recruiting with. I don't really care about individual recruits, so you're rarely going to hear me talk about a recruit being bad because I think the 3-star could go boom. I think the 5-star could go bust, right? All I really give a fuck about is the macro. Where do you fall in the team rankings? LSU's passing that with flying colors. So like, I'm happy about the class, and then you can talk about the kids excitedly. But that said, as Shea points out on Womack, 5-star edge rusher, made 5-star on 3. In 10 games against elite competition. I don't know what the elite competition part of that means exactly. Maybe you do, Matt. But I'm guessing
Brian Kelly, he's like from the Maryland, the Baltimore area. He went to St. Francis, right, in Baltimore?
Yeah. Did they play like a national schedule?
Yeah. St. Francis is one of those like national brands. Like they play IMG and stuff like that.
Okay, so in a season against the elite of the elite, in 10 games he had 15 sacks and 26 TFLs. And he looks the part. So that's a guy who – and LSU, look, Matt, we're no stranger to freshman contributors rushing the passer.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Even look at Harold Perkins this last year. So, like, yeah, Womack's definitely exciting. It's just a great class, dude. Put the Womack, exactly, dude. Uh-oh. Are we about to have the personal injury attorney wars finally begun?
No.
I mean, you can't have Womack moving in on G Team's
That's
territory.
True. Gordon,
Dude,
get Gordon. I need to go talk to Gordon now. Don't get Gordon for real, bro.
We're going to have like an anchor man face off of all the different personal, like Morris Bart's crew shows up. But hey, look, I'm fucking rolling with the G Team, dude. I'm on the G Team.
We're rolling with the G Team.
That's what
bro.
I'm saying. So
100%.
Don't come to that fight. Don't come to that Hold the Mayos roll with his boy, Eagleburg or something over there in New Orleans. Hey, look, all I know is if you're scrapping with the G Team, they got us. You got Mason Smith out there. Jay Daniels out there. You might want to watch out there.
The real quick, though, to your point about like not really caring about just the class ranking, I'll go a little further. For me on signing day, I look more, all right, did you address needs? And the reason is there were a lot of times in the Miles era where LSU would have these highly rated classes, but they loaded up a lot of times on skill guys.
Yeah, like athletes.
There was one year. Well, I mean, look, the most sort of infamous year was, I think it was 2013 or 14.
So
where
they didn't get an inside linebacker?
Yeah, and so they had the year. It was 13. I think they signed the 5-star out of Illinois. His name was Clifton Garrett.
Yeah.
And he was sort of infamous for spending more time in Tigerland than he did on the practice field. Like, he was just in Tigerland every night, and he lasted 1 year and transferred.
Oh, yeah.
I think he went to UAB.
A vortex that has sucked in many a young man.
But the next year, they had more scholarship place kickers than linebackers on the team. It was so like
yeah.
And then there was another year, like I can remember going in the.
That's when the term roster management became hot
for sure.
And we were like, what the fuck is going on?
I remember going.
Ross Deli was on the beat, I believe, at the time.
Deli, I think, came in 15 or 16.
Really?
This was before that.
Huh.
But the other one that was interesting is like there were there were a lot of years where we'd go out and you'd be like 12 or 13 scholarship receivers. And it's like they all look awesome, you know? Like, you just see all these dudes that are giant and fast and athletic, but it's like you got like 13 scholarship receivers, and you're not too deep on the offensive line. It's like
Louisiana is the home. They are the motherland for badass receivers and DBs. I mean the skill
talent
now,
here is incredible.
Even now, LSU's wide receiver group is the best group in the team. It's my goal number one for the offseason is they must find a way to get that group to produce and threaten next year. But it's so disappointing that nobody felt threatened by the LSU receivers. Whatever, I'm just saying 9 of the 11 receivers on the team right now, maybe it changes today, but are from Louisiana.
But the bigger point then was LSU didn't throw the fucking ball.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
Crazy. No. So yes, the recruiting ranking looked good, but you didn't meet needs. The reason I think today was impressive, and even if you throw in the transfers that they've got, like you had a very clear need on the defensive line. Well, you got 3 transfers on the defensive line.
Yeah.
You got Deshaun Womack.
Quality guys too.
Yeah. I mean, so you got Jackson Howard. You loaded up. You get the kid Carpenter from Santa. Like you loaded up.
Carpenter kid's interesting. Jake was talking about him this morning.
You loaded up at position at areas where you need bodies. And where you've now supplemented to where next year you're going to have your veteran rotation and these younger guys come through, and then in 2024 it's going to be all your recruits. And so it's where now it's your recruits are the basis, and then maybe you add a player or two to supplement it.
Well, even now they're being a bit more discerning, right? When Kelly talked to the media on Saturday, didn't he say that, like, okay, for instance, with cornerbacks, we're not taking anybody with only 1 year of eligibility left anymore.
Yeah.
And if you look at the 3D line transfers, all them 2020 commits, at least 2, I'm guessing 3, for the most part, years of eligibility because of COVID year. With
all
those guys.
3 guys that they took, all 3 defensive linemen have played 3 years, including 2020.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, which doesn't count. So they have 3, they have 2 to 3 years
They
left.
all have 2 years left.
Yeah.
And
at least. They could have third.
Well, no, they'd have a redshirt year.
But they didn't redshirt, I'm saying?
No, so you'd have 2 to play. Basically.
Yeah. So whatever, yes, the roster, like, Scott Rabley had a really good article in The Advocate this week where he basically talked about, you got, what the fuck is this?
It's a hurricane.
Hadouken? Wait, like a Hadouken? A hurricane? Oh, it's a hurricane.
It's a hurricane, but it's on fire.
Look at this
the
mug.
lime is on fire.
It's like a little Hawaiian, almost like Kool-Aid Man type vibe. I've never seen this. What is burning? Is that a piece of cauliflower in the middle of a crouton? Oh, they lit the crouton on fire. All right, here we go.
That's pretty spectacular. That's why you're spilling all over your pants.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Wow, dude. That is tasty. I'm not going to blow it out. I'm just going to let it burn. It's a nice little warmth on this cold night. Damn, that's pretty cool, dude. You want to try it?
Sure.
It's like it's actually very light. It's sugary. It's fucking hurricane, but it's not. I've never had a hurricane on. Don't blow it out, bitch. Oh my god.
I'm not using.
You don't use my straw. That's fair. By the way, I finally feel good for the first time in like 3 weeks. So I apologize for my last couple Scone T's. I have
you weren't
feeling
here.
like shit. But even
and then the one you came back,
2 sandwiches coming back and the one right before.
You don't even taste alcohol in that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's dangerous.
Hey.
What were we talking about? Well, okay, I don't know what we were talking about. One thing, what I can talk about is that, I mean, I have something loaded in the chamber if you want me to say it, or can you remember what I was talking about?
I mean, we were talking about how Les had all the receivers and the roster management, and they didn't play, actually.
Oh, okay.
Then,
I'll shout out the Rabley article. I'll shout out the Rabley
Yeah.
article. He just made a very good point about how now when you really look at the timing of everything that's going on in college football and the drastic fundamental shifts that we are talking about in this game, that it's even more fortuitous that you got a guy like Brian Kelly, a coach like Brian Kelly, with the very forward-thinking, meticulously organized process and organization. Like, this is a time in which And what's interesting is with Kelly, not closed off to new ideas, even though he's coached for, 32 years and he's 61 years old. Like, that's maybe the greatest thing you could say about him is he's not, you got Dabo out here dropping quotes that feel like they were written by an AI machine satirizing Dabo. Like, I can't believe he said it, dude. It's incredible.
For those that missed it, Dabo said today the program was built on NIL. He said they in the name, image, and likeness of God.
And I'm not trying to be like a Pharisee Sadducee motherfucker sitting up here laughing, but it's funny. Because if you were going to write an Onion article about Dabo, that's the quote that you would write. And then he actually said it.
He said it.
But the point is,
my God,
Kelly's not crying over spilt milk. He's not holding on older generations. He is trying to create his organization. How can we thrive in this new era? And it's just whatever. His process, his leadership, it's a good time to have him, because in times of chaos like this, those who have the best grasp of things can rise. And I feel like Kelly's got a very good grasp of it thus far. One thing we should talk about this class, the O-line is fucking awesome. Like, it's a really good class for Brad Davis, and it adds to what is already, Matt, when's the last time you've been this excited about the LSU offensive line?
So, I mean, look.
And what's interesting, I was talking about this, my bad. I was talking about this with Jake today, though. 07, no lineman played in the NFL. No offensive lineman played. 2011, no offensive lineman played in the NFL. The last great LSU offensive line, you got to go back to, the Saban era.
Yeah.
With Peterman and Wilkerson and Whitworth and those type guys. And it feels like you're finally building back to that.
Yeah. And look, that's also been a Brian Kelly cornerstone, right? I mean, the linemen and the tight ends that he pumped into the NFL, that's always been his thing. But you asked, are you excited about this offensive line class? So Lance Hurd, for sure. He's a dude. And you get one of those and you feel really good. You add it to, your six best guys returning. Everyone else in the class among the linemen feel like projects. Like when I look at Paul Mubenga, when I look at Tyree Adams, I see dudes that are athletic dudes that are big, but probably need a lot of development. I don't know that I necessarily see the guy that I go, yep, that's a plug-and-play dude, except for Lance Hurd. And you may not need it.
But isn't that what you kind of aim for at O-line?
Yeah, but
realistically, are you going to get – that's what makes Emory Jones and Will Campbell so insane, is that are you going to get to play right away, guys?
But here's the other thing I'll tell you. I think I'll go back 4-6 weeks, whatever. Whenever I kind of had my most detailed conversations with people about what they were going to be looking for in the portal – like the first thing was look, they knew they needed defensive line, but so on the offensive line they knew all these veteran offensive linemen were going to leave, and sure enough, Doomerville and Cam Wire and Xavier Hill have all left. So now you've got your first six back, but after that, you have no experience, like zero. It's all young players that haven't played.
Well, who's left? Can you give me names off the top of your head?
Look, the guys that signed last year, Bordelon, who didn't play last year, Fitzgerald West, if they move him back to offensive line. You're just very thin on. No,
I get that.
Like
at a certain point, though, you have to rely on guys. Like if you have six that you fucking believe in,
sure,
that's fine. Like you have to rely on pieces to do things for the first time eventually.
I get it, but. I mean, it is statistically proven offensive line is the highest injury risk rate. You're going to have the most
you
guys
have five positions to get injured.
Yes. So you have so you're going to need depth. And so the point is you love your first six, but after that, who do you turn to? Which is
what
why,
I'm saying
hold on,
is, how many teams?
Hang on, let me finish the point.
Sorry,
so the point is, going back to what I was initially told, was they knew they were going to lose these guys.
Yeah.
So they were going to do essentially what they just did with the defensive line.
Yeah.
None of the guys that they're bringing in via portal are going to unseat Mason Smith or Mekhi Wingo.
You just saw Jaquelin Roy play for the NFL.
Yes. They're going to go do the same thing on the offensive line. They're going to get some veteran depth of guys they can bring in that can add to that position there on the line. In case if you have a situation where you need someone to go play.
That makes all sense in the world. You should. I guess my point is there's not many teams that can say they feel great about their first 6.
Yeah,
so you're already starting from like a pretty fundamentally good spot. Maybe not perfect.
You went through the shit last year to get to this point.
Yes, and this is the type of class. Like, I need, I think it might actually ended up being 4 linemen, or was it 5?
4.
It is 4. You know, I need 4 to 5. Like, I need 4 to 5 every year. I don't give a fuck about quality even.
I agree.
Like, at a certain point, you just got to throw bodies in there. And I will say this. I don't know what had gone awry at the end of the last era. What do you want to call it? Moffitt, Orgeron era, James Craig to a certain extent. Like, I don't know what happened, but there was a major lack of development from a time period of LSU linemen. Like if you think about like the second offensive line in 2019 and 2020, and there's a lot of names that just transferred.
Yeah.
But there was just kind of lack of development when you saw them. It didn't look great.
You missed on a bunch of guys.
Well, but did you miss, or were maybe those guys not put in the best positions? And it's always a combination of both of these sorts of things. And that's where I'm saying that I really like what I've seen out of Brad Davis thus far. Right, last year he came in last second, and you saw an offensive line that was bad, that got better every single week, or got better significantly.
Oh, they did,
and then,
for sure. I agree.
And then this year, you had an offensive line that was bad, and granted, Florida State's defensive line was very good. We ended up learning, but looked very bad early on. He makes all the shifts, and that's a line that got better and better for the most part every week. So, like, I like Brad Davis's ability to develop here.
Let's do this exercise. So here was your 20. So some of the guys you're talking about, Xavier Hill, Dumerville, those guys were the class of 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at 2019.
But even like Cardell Thomas.
So that's what we'll look at. Let's look at the 2019 class. So here were your offensive linemen in 2019. Cardell Thomas, obviously that's what it is. Ray Parker from Ruston, who like killed somebody's dog, remember, and like got arrested or something. Remember that? Did he get arrested, or did he just? I think he got arrested. Ray Parker got arrested.
No, that's what I remember tangentially. Like, I remember where you're talking, you're teasing something, but I'm not going to, I don't know. Well,
bad dude, never played. Anthony Bradford, who is now playing.
Yep.
Thomas Perry, transferred.
And for years, Anthony Bradford was the only one where I was like, it kind of feels like maybe he has something to him.
Charles Turner, who's now playing.
Came out of nowhere. I was a huge Charles Turner hater and doubter, which is like, he's the ultimate example of at a certain point you have to do shit you haven't done before.
And that's it.
Because and that's it. But like Charles Turner was somebody that I had given up on.
So Bradford and Turner were the only ones that like came through out of that line.
I mean,
right?
but is that fair? Like, we had given up on Turner.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't think Turner was going to be.
They started a Harvard transfer who sucked for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then coming into this year, they moved Dellinger, who hadn't snapped the ball in his life. He started against Florida State, never snapped the ball.
And then Charles Turner ends up as your most improved player on offense. Think about that. It's also a good thing that, Matt, like, coaching's hard. Evaluating's hard. Sometimes you think you know a guy is better, and you're just wrong. And maybe you don't even understand why you're wrong. Maybe Turner has better chemistry with the other guys. Maybe he's a gamer, like over practice. Like, I don't know. But he, without a doubt, ended up being your best option at center.
And then your 2020 offensive line. So we just went through the 2019 offensive line signees. Your 2020 offensive line signees were Dumerville, who just transferred, who's going to Memphis, by the way. Marlon Martinez, who's hanging around but hasn't really played.
I do like Martinez, though. We can talk more about him in a second.
And Xavier Hill, who's now transferred. So in 19 and 20, back-to-back classes, you got one starter. You got Bradford out of it. And I guess now Charles Turner. But it took 4 years for Turner to be a starter.
Also, I do like Marlon Martinez, though, Matt. That's a guy that I do feel good about. Is he in your 6? Because if he's not, I would add him to your 6. What game did he just start at center at the end of the year? They did well. Was it
UAB.
Arkansas or was it UAB? Yeah. No, I like Marlon Martinez, man. For a couple years now, we've seen him, and every time he's gotten in there, I don't think he's looked out of place. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be a dominant guy, but you need, like, meat and sinew type of guys, right? Like, you need the bones of a roster. And to me, he's like a solid college football option, right? Like, if you want to call him like, whatever, I'll just use like 2011 line, like a Greg Shaw. Right, like a guy who can definitely give you starts when you need him. There are plenty of guys like that
Greg
on that
Shaw
team.
was a really good player.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I feel like Marlon Martinez is kind of like that. So if he's not in your 6, then I would say that you actually have 7. Because he can play center or guard, too. Like, has he started? Did Martinez ever start a tackle? Am I crazy?
No.
Okay. Either way, That's a guy who can be a swing man in the middle. I like their 7 deep. That's not bad.
And the other thing I'll tell you, too, is, Jake Renfro, I was just checking to make sure he didn't sign anywhere today, but Jake Renfro was the starting center at Cincinnati a year ago on their playoff team, and Denbrock was the OC.
Yeah.
He entered the portal. He got injured this year, didn't play, entered the portal, and, I was told LSU was going to target him. So I don't know if they'll land him, but it would make sense. Yeah. There's a lot of synergies. And so my point
it's funny that it's right on the heels of talking about Turner.
They'll be bringing in a guy to take Charles Turner's job.
But you ideally bring in a guy to take everybody's job, right?
Like always improve your roster.
It's a brutal. It's a brutal game. And Turner, look, man, he overcame adversity to win the job this year. Maybe he has to do it again. That's something that I went through a few times. Where I never entered a camp as a starter, but things change.
You suck
later on. All SEC honorable mention, baby. Let's fucking go. Coaches all honorable mention. How about that?
Before I get any shit, because I know people are going to comment shit.
Oh, no. Everybody knows we're kidding.
I have so much respect for literally anyone who is good enough to get a Division I, let alone an FBS scholarship offer. You are, by definition, statistically, a rare, athletically gifted human. So yeah. I am not talking. I was just joking with T-Bob. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're chilling, dude. We're all just joking around. Look, at a certain point, you got to be able, just because you fuck with or whatever. Okay, when I critique an NFL player, that is not me saying that I was better than that. I obviously was not better than an NFL player, but that's what comes with the territory. Yeah. And college kids are about to learn that now. You're getting paid. I've always been a big, I kind of treat college kids with kid gloves a lot of times. I do understand the natural human psychology where that starts to change if you're making more than me. And I'm well, hold up now. I'm not saying I'm going to go and shit on these teams, but I'm just saying that I think you'll see a little bit more of that in the college football community. Although, don't be like people who are, who's the guy that flipped from Iowa to Alabama today, the offensive lineman, badass 5-star?
Yeah.
He was talking about all the crazy messages he's been getting from Hawkeye fans. And obviously, I almost feel dumb mentioning it because it goes without saying, but don't be that guy. Don't tweet a fucking recruit, dude. These cats are trying to do what's best for them, man. Let them live their lives. Let them do what they need to do.
The problem is that, people on the internet need their ass whipped. Like in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they get the list and they just go to their goal. They get all the money from making the movie, and they just want to fly around the world and beat the shit out of everybody that posted bad shit on the internet.
Yes, that's what they spend all of their movie money on.
But real talk, the reason that culture is sort of pervasive is because if in real life you roll up on somebody and say the shit that you're tweeting in private, you're getting your ass beat. But the problem is, when you do it on the internet, you don't get your ass beat. And so, we need more Jay and Silent Bobs in the world that roll up and just beat the fuck out of people for being rude and stupid.
It is.
Just if you're fucking tweeting at a kid and threatening them and their family, did you see the kid from Jackson State?
Travis Hunter?
No, the kid who...
Hey, shout out Travis Hunter. My man went from 70,000 to 100,000 YouTube subscribers because he was like, look, no, my bad. Actually, maybe it was Sanders. No, it was Hunter, I think. It was Hunter or Sanders' son. One of them said, I'm not announcing what I'm doing until I hit 100K on YouTube.
Good for you.
Fucking jacked up.
Brilliant. He's getting that AdSense money, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Google money, dog. No, but there was a kid from... It's heartbreaking, man. This kid from Jackson State... dropped a touchdown pass in the Celebration
I saw that, dude.
Bowl.
He's a white boy at Jackson State.
Anyway, his mom posted a thing, and it was they'd be getting death threats and all. And she's running through their whole family history. She had another son commit suicide. They've been through a lot. And now this kid's getting
that's
shit
what
on.
Deion talked about in that speech that went a bit viral. Did you see him talking to the kid after the game?
Yeah, yeah.
But he told him, he was talking to the kid about how much adversity you've already overcome to get here to this point.
Yeah.
Which I really love that Deion speech. A lot of people have approached that very cynically and been like, oh, it's for the cameras, so this, that. I don't think so, man. I've been in those low moments, and I've had a coach give me similar talks, and, that's coaching. That's what a great coach does. And when I saw Prime do that, I thought that was really special. And I'm not cynical or broken enough where I really appreciated that. And I thought Prime nailed it. What he was telling, he's telling the kid, because that's a low moment. And he said, look, this is what's going to define your life. This is going to prepare you for life. Life is going to punch you in these ways, and you will now be better prepared for it for having gone through this. I think there's a lot of value there. And that's why I love sports. I mean, the life lessons that you learn from sports and football, and it's why I think you justify the health risks that are incurred. It's not just money, because the vast majority of people who play football never get paid. It makes you, it makes you beholden to something larger than yourself. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you toughness. It teaches you the ability to deal with adversity, the ability to objectively say, you know what, I am not as good as this person. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop working. Like, I'm going to work as hard as I can to try to be as good, and maybe reach there, maybe you don't, right? But these are all, like, moments of self-development that I think we have to go through, and it's one of the reasons why I think sports are so valuable for everyone. So that was a weird tangent to go down.
No, so basically, to punctuate it, if you're an asshole on the internet, you deserve to get your ass kicked. Like, that's like, you need to be fucking.
And the best part about Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back is right before they decide that's their crusade, Ben Affleck's like, yeah, everybody's talking about shit on the internet. He goes, what the fuck is the internet? Which even in like 2003 or 1, whenever it came out, I'm not exaggerating. You can catch that line in the OTB mailbag sounder,
open, yeah.
and it's not a mistake. That is my single favorite movie line in cinematic history. Because I remember being a kid at the time and being like, that is such a ridiculous question to ask. What has Jay been doing? He's just been outside the fucking gas station kicking and smoking weed, dude.
Selling dime bags. Noise, making noise, rolling blood, smoking
off. What's his name? What are the two guys
Dante.
who are working? Yeah, it's on Dante
and Randall.
Yes, dude. But no, what the fuck?
Like synergy that T-Bob and I have is Jay and Silent Bob.
That's true.
It's like the Clerks, the Kevin Smith movies.
But,
it's like the one thing.
But the great part,
we speak the same language.
But the great part about this is, it's like you're talking about, Jay and Silent Bob approach the internet from an alien viewpoint.
Yeah.
They've never been in it. So they're doing what you're saying. They're like, hold up, this dude's talking shit? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, let's fucking scrap. And then they go and they beat up a 12-year-old.
He's like, is your name, mister? And I was like, did you say Jay and Silent Bob can eat a bag? Like, yeah, so. And they just like start kicking the shit. They kicked the shit out of this kid.
A little 12-year-old kid, dude.
And they're like, he's literally kicking him on the ground.
What I want to know is,
oh, God.
I really hope that some of the recruiting shit are Russian trolls. I hope that the Russian troll, like these troll farms that they have in these other countries, I hope they've gotten so pervasive that some Russian is having to sit there talk shit to,
what the fuck is a troll farm?
You've never heard of these?
I was playing on the movie. God damn it, you stupid fucking idiot. God damn it, just move on. All right, we got 18 minutes left. If you're on YouTube, please smash the like button. Subscribe up to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. We're here at Oliver Twist every Wednesday. Awesome spot right behind Solu. Couple of days from Christmas. You got the family in town. You need a place to get some cocktails, some food, hang out. Dude, they just keep on
Great
churning.
cocktails. What is this?
That's a beer.
Oh, a little Ghost in the Machine, dude. Well, I don't know what beer, bitch.
Can I have one? I'll buy it.
Hey.
Shit. He's like, I guess, whatever.
Wait, I thought you were on no drink. Is that done? No, November?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
November.
Nice.
But I'm good, dude. I'm down almost 15 pounds.
Damn,
man. So,
that's how it works.
But I was big. Like, I was big. Have
you been working out extra?
Yeah, for sure. But the biggest I gotten ever, man, I was at 247. So I'm down around like 230. I'm down like 234.
Hell
now.
yeah, dude.
But I got a long way to go, man. I got a long way to go.
Look, bro, with that shit, you just can't think about the big picture.
Yeah, no.
You just fucking do your shit one day at a time.
Yeah, man.
One day at a time.
Like next week, I'll get on the scale. Hopefully, be down a few more. You know.
I am pretty hyped. I'm getting for Christmas. I'm getting this. It's a Lord of the Rings fitness thing.
Oh Jesus!
Where they
good man.
They track your cheers. Scone T. Merry Christmas, y'all. They track your miles if you bike him, run him, like whatever the case may be. But basically, it does Frodo's journey from the Shire to Mount Doom. So Frodo made that journey in a year. So next year, I'm going to try to make that journey, and you get like medals and other stuff along the way. So I'm very excited about it.
And now you've lost me. We were there on Jay and Silent Bob, and now we are light years apart.
What bet would it take for me to get you to watch all the Lord of the Rings extended editions with me. Maybe on your own. I don't know if with me is realistic because that could be like 13 hours straight.
Oh, 13 hours? Oh, fuck. Over what length of time?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Each movie, let's say each movie is 4 hours. A little bit change.
Are they really? Why would anybody go see that in the theater? I'd have to pee. I'd have to get up and pee like 4 times.
The theatrical versions were more like 3.
Yeah, no way I'm going to a movie for 3 hours.
Oh, bro, it's the best. Dude.
The only way I'm going to a movie now is if they got food and booze. But then I got to get up and take a piss if it's 4 hours.
That's why the booze is overrated. You don't
That's
need
booze.
What
I'm saying.
You go to a movie, you need 2 things. You need a fucking Coke Icy, and you need a fucking popcorn. And you don't need anything else. It's the greatest combination known to man, dude.
So there's one other thing.
Little salty, little sweet.
Raisinets.
No. I don't like any of the candy. I don't fuck with any candy. I used to fuck with Kit Kudo bites. My little brother liked them, but nah.
So I am a...
Shut up, Bo. Love you, bro.
I'm a Coke Icy maximalist. I do not want any other flavor icy. I don't want.
Oh, see, I will flirt around a little bit. I'll have a little blue on top.
Only Coke, and I am popcorn, no butter.
Really?
Yeah.
No butter though?
No butter.
Really?
But
why not?
The butter's fine. I just don't want
too greasy?
Yeah, I just don't want it.
I like to heavily butter the top, and then I get a big fat stack of napkins, and I end up getting like a buttered top and a dry bottom, and I like that combination.
But I got to go Raisinets too. I love Raisinets because if I go salty, then I get the sweet on the Raisinets.
Well,
and then you get on the Coke as well. I get it, but when I'm done with the salty, I want the sweet.
You know what's dumb though? Popcorn fucks my
Your fucking idea to watch
technical-
13 hours of fucking Lord of the Rings shit.
No, dude, I did that in one day in high school, and I'm not gonna lie.
High school, right? I'm a 40-year-old man with a kid.
I'm not gonna lie, that was too much.
Yeah.
Like even at the end of that, we had all lost our mind a little bit, and the quality of movies was lost. But, Matt, so you've never seen a single Lord of the Rings?
I couldn't tell you a single thing about any fucking thing having to do with Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
0.
Okay, good. We got a good bit.
0.
We got a good bit. Then you know what we have, Matt? We have a little bit in our back pocket. Okay? We can just say we don't have to make any decisions now. We'll put it away. But anytime like maybe a wager comes up or something like that, we don't have Patreon. It could be like a Patreon goal or something. Like we have a bit in our back pocket to where
Mark, if you lose, what do I get?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to hash it out now. We'll figure it out.
Ask them.
I'll watch like a game of Yankee baseball because that's 4 hours.
I don't want to sit with you and watch baseball.
Baseball.
You did want to talk about LSU baseball.
Yeah, fucking LSU baseball is ranked number 1 in the country, dude. Yeah, I only got a few questions logged, y'all. Get your questions in here, and I will. If you use hashtag Scone T, it's easier to find. But get your questions in, and I'll put them on the document.
Yeah, LSU baseball is going to be really good.
Well, I mean, okay, you told
really
me
good.
that it would be, and we said this on air. I'm not saying like behind the scenes or anything. You told me that if they didn't make Omaha, it's a disappointment.
Yes, absolutely.
So my dick is immediately hard.
It'll be like it will be the equivalent of Tennessee last year falling short. That's this LSU team is going to be more talented than Tennessee was.
Yes, dude. I am so fucking hyped.
And I know some of you are going to be like, "Fuck that guy, Homer take all that stuff." Like that's not. I didn't watch.
Matt knows baseball.
I didn't even watch this team in the fall. Like I cannot justify spending part of my fall days during football season watching fall baseball. I can't, like there's no justification for it on my plate, right?
Yeah.
What am I going to make room on my plate for? What am I pushing off the plate during football season? Saints, LSU, and then family, which
like you said, and you're constantly creating content, like 24/7.
So I'm talking about talking to coaches, to scouts, to people, to draft analysts,
people who are paying attention,
that are the smartest baseball people I know. That are like, this is one, I think I've said this on air before. I had one longtime scout who told me that is the most talent I've seen on a baseball team in 27 years of scouting. In college. A college baseball team, I mean. Like, it's the most talent I've seen on a team in 27 years. Like, if they don't, I mean, if they're not in Omaha, it's just
look,
a massive
the bottom line is, I hate that I even framed it that way because I don't want to start it like, I hate being negative guy.
No, but it's baseball,
like,
man.
I don't want to.
Shit happens in baseball. Look at Tennessee.
No.
Tennessee
I know.
was the best team by
exactly.
a mile
No,
last
what
year.
I'm
Didn't make
saying
them
is, what I'm saying is, though, I don't want. But Tennessee had a super fun, awesome season, and I get the Indians.
But their fans are super bummed, man.
No,
like,
I agree. And
that.
I'm not saying you should be happy. I'm not saying you should be happy, right? But they had a lot of fun along the way. So I feel bad. I don't want to start it from a negative standpoint. I'm not saying like if they don't make Omaha, it's a failure. I'm just using that as a, like I said my dick was hard. I'm just using that as a piece of excitement. To be like, oh, like that's an easy metric for me to suddenly be
lying.
like, oh, yeah, that's true. But that's an easy
either
metric.
That or that's just really disappointing.
But either that or that's just like I hear that and it immediately makes me happy. I'm not coming from a place of disappointment. I'm so excited to watch this team because I've been kind of falling in love with baseball a bit more year after year.
Fun,
I think as you get older and the MLB I don't really care about because I don't have a team that I feel passionate about. And everybody's so good. I like a little bit of the jank in baseball. Which, you know what? I'm a hypocrite because I choose college basketball. I don't like the jank in college basketball. And I prefer the NBA. In football, I like both. So whatever. It is what it is. We're all, we all like what we like. But I've been getting more and more into college baseball. It's even super fun the last couple of years. And now I have a coach that I'm very excited about. And you have a number one class that just looks so goddamn good. And I mean, the arms, just the power at the plate, getting to cheer for Tommy Tanks. I'm super hyped, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait for baseball season. It's not the first time in my life. Because like I said, I'm getting progressively more excited. But this is because I grew up in Georgia where you couldn't really watch games growing up. This is by far the most excited that I have been for a year of LSU baseball.
You should be. They're going to be awesome. Basketball, however, not going to be awesome once conference play starts. But what are they doing right now? What's the score, by the way? If you're watching on demand or listening on demand, it's 7:51 Central Time on Wednesday. LSU's playing East Tennessee State. 37-24 at half. Tigers are winning. Did you see East Tennessee State on Bad Beats this week?
No.
You ever watch Bad Beats with SVP?
Yeah. Well, I never watch it regularly. I'm normally in bed. But I know of it.
It's beautiful. It's hilarious with SVP and Sam Receive. East Tennessee State was the victim of one of the bad beats. Like, I want to find the clip because I don't want to describe it because it won't do it justice. But they blew it and ended up losing on a fadeaway top of the key three from a lanky dude. They were inbounding under the basket with like 1.7 seconds. Hit the guy, fall away, contested three, fell, and they ended up losing. But it was all of the process that led up even to that improbable moment, which was terrible. But anyway.
Well, and LSU's beat them tonight for whatever that's worth. The problem with college basketball at this point in the year to me is out of conference play is very hard to get into. Like this LSU women's team has just decimated anybody who's walked across their path. Winning the Maui Invitational without really breaking a sweat. Yeah. Like Angel Reese goes for 25 and 20 in the final. Now, I do love they get a 9-day break and they have to go to Bud Walton against a ranked Arkansas team. Like that'll be a great okay, are you real? Like how real are you? And then with the men's team, I mean, it feels like a tough year with how good the SEC is and the places they're coming from.
They're going to win tonight and be 11-1.
Great record.
And they are 6 of their first 8 conference games are against teams ranked in like the top 18. It's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. If they find a way to get to 8 conference, they go 8-10 in conference.
You think it's like a?
I think that would look 8-10 in conference. You win 11 in the pre-conference. That puts you at 19 wins.
Okay,
you're an NIT team. I mean, I think that's a really solid year. If they manage to get to 8 conference wins, that would be in this league with that schedule. The last 7 games are all against unranked teams in league play. They got a chance to make some hay late, but it's going to be a grind for about a month.
I'm gonna ask you.
January is going to be tough.
What about LSU baseball conference record? Give it to me because they're. So I didn't know SEC baseball growing up. One of my favorite things, and this is why the MLB's too much, right? What I love about college baseball is the conference rhythm. 30 games. 3 games every weekend.
Yeah.
The stakes are so easy to understand. You know your goals. What do you think of conference record baseball?
Don't hold me to this because I'm not ready to make a prediction. But for the sake of the show, I'll tell.
Yeah. This is a preemptory prediction.
Let me pull up the schedule. and just do. I want to glance at
the schedule. No, I'm fine with that.
So I've always said, look, I've always said, you win 2 out of 3 every weekend. You go 20-10 in the league. You're a national seed. I think maybe once it's happened to where a team won 20 SEC games and wasn't a national seed.
That feels like accepted baseball truth. Yes.
Yeah, you're 20-10 in the SEC. If you're 20-10, you're a national seed. I know they got Tennessee on the schedule, but I think they are. You're going to look at the schedule and you're going to see a lot of ranked conference opponents, and you're going to say, "Man, the brutal schedule," which is true. But the flip side of it
SEC, right?
But the flip side of it is all of those teams are going, "Fuck, we got to play LSU."
Yes,
Tennessee last year went 25-5 in the league. 25-5, and they played 5 weekends against ranked opponents. Half of their conference games were against ranked opponents, and they went 25-5. They were so much better than everybody. So, like, you play A&M, which is preseason top 5, right? And that's on the road. Arkansas is here. Tennessee's here. South Carolina's there. Kentucky here.
Is Kentucky good?
I'll say Ole Miss is on the road defending Natty champs.
Yeah.
Home against Bama. Auburn on the road.
Is Tim Hudson still coaching at Auburn?
State here. In Athens, little bandbox. Tommy, dude, watch Tommy Tanks hit like 5 homers that weekend against Georgia in that little fucking ballpark.
See, I don't know that yet. Like, those things that I still don't know. So Athens is like a super small ballpark?
So, like, right field in Athens.
Short right porch?
It's like 300 feet.
Is that like the Red Sox? Don't they have a short right porch?
Well, the Yankees.
Okay.
There's the short porch in ours. It's Yankee Stadium. It's like 310. But Athens it's a fucking bandbox. But so is Tennessee. Lindsey Nelson Stadium is a fucking.
Oh, so they juiced up their own numbers.
For sure.
Fucking bleacher creatures. I've gone to war with the Tennessee baseball douchebags before.
The problem with Tennessee baseball fans is you've never been good, so shut the fuck up.
No, but I like that though. No. I firmly disagree. When your team suddenly gets good, everybody should be able to bandwagon on and say fuck you, because like that's the fun of sports. It's like, I don't give a fuck about this team, but all of a sudden they're good, and like maybe my geography lines up, or I cheer for the football team. Like, okay, I'll dive in. Yeah. Hey, fuck you, Tennessee baseball. Yeah. Now, what I'm interested to see,
22-8.
What I'm interested to see though, 22-8.
I'll go 22-8.
Wow. Ooh,
let's
go, dude.
And I think I'm underselling them. I'm just building myself a buffer. I'm building myself a buffer.
Yes,
I think Vanderbilt's
feels
got the
juicy.
record.
I'll answer you right here. That is the big show. That is the big show, and Jingle All the Way. All right, you want to get some questions?
Yep.
Kobe asked Scone T, do y'all expect LSU to address kicker and punter in the transfer portal where they have? Well,
no.
I mean, Ramos was great, and Bramblett won.
Bramblett's coming back.
Yeah.
No, they're good. And you don't typically have more than one scholarship kicker on your roster, and they have Dybert on scholarship, and Ramos was a walk-on. So.
Yeah, and you always welcome in new kickers, right? Like, you can welcome in walk-on to see who rises. Like, you throw stuff against the wall. Zaddy Jacques Cormery asks, Scone T, will we ever see an entire team enter the portal after the season, and will it be Auburn?
It was Vanderbilt in 2013 went 26-3 in the league.
Damn.
But they lost. They missed the game due to like a rain out, so they only played 29 games.
What was LSU's best year? I feel like when I was doing radio in New Orleans, they had like an incredible year.
It was that year. It was 2013 LSU. Moose will know. Hey, Moose. What was LSU 2013?
Yeah, I love that. Moose just knows.
2013 was 20.
He said,
and then 2022.
They won it that year.
Moose is doing the math right now. The steam is pouring out of his ears. He's starting to doubt himself.
So 13 was the better record than 15.
13's the best team.
But they didn't lose a midweek all year. They were like that team was. Oh God. Fuck TD Ameritrade. 2013 LSU should have won the national
that's the UCLA year.
Yes. Yeah. That team should have won the national.
That UCLA team that was batting 200.
If that series was played in Roosevelt, LSU fucking destroys everybody.
The Tennessee team batting 200 ends up winning.
LSU was 57-11 overall, 23-7 in the league.
God damn. And Tennessee went 25-5. Holy shit.
But the Vanderbilt team in 20. That's it. So LSU didn't even win the conference that year. In 20, they won. Vanderbilt won 26 games. That's what I'm telling you. God. It was the same year.
Oh my God. That's amazing, dude.
Oh, I didn't look it up. I'll look up 13.
Zaddy Jack Cormier, what is Deion's end game? Deion's rich, lots of TV options, etc., but he still wants to recruit and enforce curfews and all the other NFL stuff that comes to football. I don't get it. Look,
you got to read slower, bro.
He's asking basically why. He's asking why does Deion want to do this? Right? He's rich, coach. He has everything in the world. Why does he want to recruit? Why does he want to enforce curfew? Like, why? But the thing is, Deion loves football. Like, I think that gets lost. Like, this man, everything I've seen out of Deion Sanders shows that he legitimately loves football with every iota of his heart. I think he looks at what football has done for his own life, and I think he sees other young men. Like, I can't help it. I'm not very cynical about Deion. Like, he is someone who went through low moments, and he emerged as like a pastor on the other side. Yeah. And yes, he's been very successful business-wise, but like, no, I think he legitimately wants to help young men. I think he legitimately loves football. And I think he legitimately has that drive that all these alphas do, these NFL alphas, where they want to fucking be the best.
I don't know his motive.
Deion's doing commercials with Nick, and he's like, you know what, dude, I could do, like Deion wants to be, he wants to win. He's fucking competitive. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You don't become a lockdown corner in the NFL that doesn't even have to huddle if you're not competitive and if you're not fucking in love and great at football.
I don't know his motives, and I don't care. I'll tell you this. When was the last time anyone of significance gave two shits and or a single fuck about Colorado football?
Very true.
Very good true. On the AD who had the ball sack to hire that guy because he immediately made them relevant.
Auburn should have hired him.
You're getting 5 stars. You're getting talent that you would have never sniffed before in Boulder, which is so bizarre because, like, when I was a kid, Colorado was awesome. Like, I watched a bunch of Louisiana guys go out there.
T.C. McCartney's grandpa, right?
Bill McCartney. That's what Les was on staff there.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What did he coach? O-line?
O-line or tight ends. But, okay. Les was on staff on, like, Bill. That's how T.C. ended up here. So that
makes sense.
So Sal Inessi was the quarterback that led Colorado under McCartney to the Natty in '90 that they shared with Georgia Tech.
And Sal is T.C.'s dad.
He passed, but yes, that's T.C. McCartney's dad, and with Bill McCartney's daughter.
Yeah.
So Bill McCartney's quarterback had a baby with Bill McCartney.
Hey, but they got that natty though, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. All's good, man. Love who you love.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, dude.
I'm just saying that's the relationship.
Yeah, it's that is. But Colorado is now relevant for the first time forever. Anthony Cortello.
And by the way, real quick on Deion.
Yeah.
I love that Deion is actually on, because he has nothing to lose.
Yes.
He has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So all the coach speak bullshit that we sift through all the time, you never deal with this guy.
No, he's played it straight the entire time.
He's dancing on the sideline. It's like,
they have him on and they have him on 60 Minutes, and they're like pressuring, like, are you going to take a bigger job? And he was like, well. Yeah, I mean,
of course.
Yeah.
Why am I saying Jackson State?
And what I love is if you're somebody who's hating on him for leaving, because I could understand that angle, but all of his players at Jackson State supported him. I mean, I read interviews with him, and they were all like, yeah, like Coach Prime was. I mean, Prime was honest with us. He kind of told us this was how it was going to be, and he made our lives and the situation here demonstrably better than it was, just like he told us.
Bro, I'll tell you straight up. I think it was Eddie Robinson Jr. who did the whole he ain't SWAC thing.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, first of all, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, we live in the – I don't think many people actually know this. Baton Rouge is, by a mile, the preeminent SWAC market.
That makes sense.
Southern gets more.
I guess I don't appreciate that.
You don't, because there's LSU here. But Southern gets more coverage, as minimal as it may seem, because we're so LSU-centric. The fact that there's like a Southern beat writer and they get on the news, like, that doesn't happen in other SWAC markets, like with Prairie View and shit like that. Like, my point is, Deion Sanders brought more attention to the Southwest Athletic Conference than anything since the late Eddie Robinson. the amount of awareness, equity, funding, all of it. The ships he rode.
Yeah. Well, the school president talked about he just opened doors that were never open before. I mean, they had game day there. They had Walmart pay for new practice facilities.
The only way game day was at a SWAC game was when I think game day went to the Bayou Classic. Like, the only thing that people outside of the SWAC would have known the SWAC for was Bayou Classic,
yes.
Southern and Gramblin's bands.
Fair.
The Battle of the Bands. Like, Deion gave the dudes who play in that league, gave them opportunity, man.
And his players appreciate him, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Anyway.
Anthony Cortello says, this is a very highly rated class. But does this class account for the position of needs or just the rating of the player? It's kind of what you were talking about earlier.
We did talk about that.
I prefer a low-rated class that fills needs and a high-rated class. Both are great. I think this is both, right?
So let's, real quick, I'll check off where I think they still have needs. You have got to get defensive backs, namely cornerbacks. You signed a bunch of, but that could be solved with Desmond Ricks, who announces tomorrow. But so right now,
I should say, chat is saying that the On Three boys are saying Rick's Alabama now.
Oh fuck, that would suck. Okay, so if you don't get Desmond Ricks, like right now you have Seven Banks, LaTerrence Welch, I'm blank. Kid from Bishop Gorman who signed today. I'm blanking.
Tobiano?
No, and in Vegas.
I'll look it up. Hold on. I got
Jeremiah Hughes. Jeremiah Hughes, who's a freshman, and then they list Ashton Stamps as a corner.
Yeah, and Big Fave was texting me this morning calling him a shutdown corner.
Okay. I mean, he had been listed on all the recruiting services as a safety. So, anyway, so that's 4 corners, and the only one who's played is Seven Banks, who's basically been hurt for 2 years.
We have been perennially injured.
So, you have you have to go get corners.
Yep.
If Desmond Rick signs, awesome.
A little too bold by Kelly to say they're not taking anybody with less than 1 year eligibility.
At cornerback, you don't really have that option.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, you've got to go. You got to get dudes. But I'll tell you this, man. I've said this on I've said this on AFR. I don't know if I've said it here. I am, and the reasoning for this is completely stupid. I am really, really hopeful that LaTerrence Welch is a fucking dude, because last year, again, I'm admitting to you, this is a stupid reason, okay? Last year, Eli Ricks transferred to Bama.
Yeah.
When he transferred to Bama, Dwight McGlothern quote tweeted Eli Ricks' Bama post and was like, we could have been great together. LaTerrence Welch is still in high school. Freshman comes and quote tweets McGlothern and goes, let's go be great together. Like, fuck him. Let's you and me do it.
And then McGlothern leaves.
But who can't? My point is, that dude was like,
he's all in on LSU.
I want to be the guy. But that's what you wanted, a corner.
Yes.
You want the dude that wants to be the dude. Like, I ain't fucking scared. Let's go. So I'm hopeful that dude's awesome.
Welch is going to have his opportunity.
Lafayette guy. Let's roll, bro.
Let's roll. Let's go, LaTerrence. All right, you've made me a fan.
I'm pulling for that dude. Like, I really want that dude to be awesome.
Pat McKenzie says, ask Scone T, what are some names y'all are hearing as far as DBs from the portal? I don't know, bro. No. I got nobody for you.
I don't have names for you, sorry.
Dustin Blanchard, ask Scone T, is it a bad thing not getting a DT in this class? No, because how much depth you already will have.
So keep in mind, you're going to have, I actually like what they did with this. Here's why. You're returning Mason Smith, Makai Wingo, Guillory. You have the guys you recruited last year that didn't play. Bryce Langston, who's going to be back in his second year. Ty G. Hill, who's back in his second year as a red shirt. Fitzgerald West, who's flip-flop back and forth, offense, defense, but he's now defensive line back in his second year. And so you have your starters and you have your young guys, and you just filled the depth with what you were missing was your experience depth, and you filled that with Shan from Arizona, Parashan and Lee from Florida, Jalen Lee. So now you've got
Jalen Lee's in your top 4 now, right?
Yeah, and Shan is too. So now you've got your rotation and you've got your young guys. Next year you're going to sign like 3 or 4 defensive tackles.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that you didn't go sign. I mean, if you had like a 5-star number 1 dude that's coming in like to play,
you always sign that.
Yeah, you sign that guy. But like you didn't need a project defensive tackle in this class.
So it's a little bit of the organizational thing we were talking about earlier, though. Like, that's when we use the term roster management. That's great.
Yeah.
Roster management. God, Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo are going to be so good next year, dude. Oh, my God.
I know. I wish J. Roy would have come back.
Yeah, but you get it, though, right? Because he would have had it. He's not going to start.
I get it.
Like,
I just wish he would.
but you're not going to start. Like, it's a diminished role. What's somebody want to take out? Clayton Knights, Jaden Daniels returning, or has that been discussed?
Have you heard
very
anything?
Clear. No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I've been very clear. I mean, I know that he's hurt and he's preparing for the bowl game. No, I always rely on you for, like, inside info. All I care about, all I'll say is that I think Jaden Daniels returning is the best thing for trying to make the best team, regardless who wins the job or not, which I imagine he would. But no, I have no insight.
I think he wants to come back.
Okay, yeah.
I think there are other forces at play, other factors at play.
Oh.
And I think LSU would want him to come back, of course. Like the coaching staff would want him to come back. That's not it. But
okay, that was a good clear up there.
So I don't think there's a portal situation for him. I think it's either he comes back or he goes pro after the bowl game. But I think it is still very much like an undecided, like 50-50, could go either way type thing. But if I had to bet today, I'd bet Jaden's back next year. But it is truly like an undecided.
It's truly up in the air.
It's an undecided thing right now. Yeah.
Effective Diesel, have you ever tried the trick of taking a straw and putting it to the bottom of the popcorn with the top hanging out and putting it under the squirt butter, get it all oily? You're not a butter the popcorn guy. I am, so I'll take this. I've seen it online. I have not done it myself, so I can't speak to the effectiveness. I would say this. If I was going to do it, I would do what I saw this girl do on a Twitter video one time, where she had 3 straws at the 3 different depths, right? So she had her deep straw, a middle straw, and a lighter straw. So then you're getting full coverage of every layer of the popcorn. Like, if you're just diving 1 straw in there, well, then you're running into the exact same problems at a different depth, right? So I thought she was, unless maybe you go in the middle, then you go on the top, that could maybe work. But no, I thought that was the best
the butter falls.
Well, exactly, right? So if you put it all 3 depths, then you're going to get cascade, cascade, cascade. Now, granted, you would get a triple cascade on the bottom, which probably means you're getting some buttery popcorn. But, I mean, who's been mad at some buttery popcorn, right?
That's like the soggy nacho.
Maybe,
at the ballpark.
You know
it's
what?
Way too much cheese. It's soggy. I don't want that.
So now that we're talking this out live, maybe 1 straw in the middle is better. Because if I go 1 straw in the middle, that's going to cover my bottom half, and then I can do the top half, and that'll drip down, and then I'm not overwhelming the bottom. And, okay, you know what? Maybe that is the play.
But here's the other question.
I will try my next theater.
How often do you ever get to the bottom of the popcorn in the theater?
That's the wrong question to ask me. That's not good. I get to the bottom before the movie starts half the time. I'm horrible, dude. I'll fucking be full fist and just...
See, I do like a piece of popcorn at the time, but it's consistent the whole time.
You do 1 piece?
It's like the whole time. 1 or 2, like just like this, just like.
No, so the problem is
it ain't a handful. It's always just like 3 fingers, just like this.
So
but it's the whole movie. It's just like this.
No, but that's how I should approach it. But the problem is we are all products of our fathers, and I have adopted my old man techniques, which is a full like shovel and then a little like a little shift, like you kind of sift it into your mouth. Like you grab more popcorn than you could be in your mouth and just go. Like no, I go by the handful, dude, and it never finishes.
No, I'm just like, you know the Michael Jackson gif when he's like doing this.
Right.
It's like,
I try
That's me.
try to like when I'm at the movie theater, I try to remain myself to stay disciplined and do that, and it never works.
Yeah.
Kobe asked Scone T, what's your favorite Christmas tradition? For me, this is just something that's, well, first off, me and all my siblings always slept in the same room the night before Christmas, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And we always we called it coffee cake. I think most people know it as monkey bread.
How many siblings do you have?
3. 2 older sisters and a younger brother.
So I met Bo.
Yeah, you met my little brother.
Have
you met my sisters. But anyway, no, so we always have the same room. That was always
I met your mom.
Fun. You did meet my mom. Who you didn't know was my mom.
I didn't know it was mom.
It's all good. Having a hot mom paid off for me. I paid huge dividends. So we
How did it pay off for you?
She remarried a successful man. So we're all good. She's happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy, dude.
I wish I'd known that was your mom. I would have totally talked to her about real estate in Malibu.
No, there you go.
I totally would have talked to her about real estate in Malibu.
I watched $1 Million Listing every episode.
I swear I would have. I'd have been like, where do you live in Malibu? You
would have known it.
Like, are you in beachfront property? Or are you
Bonsall by Zuma Beach?
I thought so, but he said Bama.
Chat said, okay, so somebody just held up the phone and said, is Desmond coming to the show?
Hang on, I'm going to find this out right now. I'm getting this fucking answer.
Chat said earlier that Shea Dixon and Billy Embody were predicting him to Alabama now. I know. And now I know. And now I'm staring at a disappointed face, and he's upset. It's fucked up. I agree.
I'm getting an answer right now.
Why the fuck isn't this teen coming to my school? God damn it, dude.
Teen?
Yeah, teen boys. Dude, it's teen boy season. That's what I love about recruiting. I keep getting older, and they stay the same age. Let's fucking go. Motorboat and Pecs. Monkey bread on Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas traditions. Matt, do you have a favorite Christmas tradition?
I'm trying to get you a fucking Rick's answer right now is what I'm trying to do.
Oh, my bad.
You went kid, and now I was thinking adult.
Well, I'm just now establishing my tradition as adult. Like, now that I have a family, I'm no longer going to visit my mom or my dad. Like, they're now kind of, they want to come to us, but otherwise, we're going to be at home.
So, all right, so this is not in any way intended to be like a type guy. So normally, your Christmas morning is seeing your kids be really excited, right, that Santa came, I would assume. Your girl's pumped about Santa. Or you're
I've gotten there. That. I got my first one last year. Oh, yeah.
That's most of what Christmas morning is. That's not our reality.
Yeah, not with Drew, yeah.
So, Drew doesn't understand Santa, Christmas, he doesn't understand. It doesn't resonate. It's devastating for Erica because she's the biggest Christmas person in the world. Erica,
she bakes the best cookies in the world.
I've always said Erica's celebrity hall pass would be Santa, right? So Christmas morning.
Wait, so she's like Gilmore Girls' mom from Bad Santa. She's like Lorelai from Bad Santa.
I don't know if I saw Bad Santa.
Oh, Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton.
I got the Gilmore Girls reference, but not the Bad Santa reference.
So Lorelai or her mom, whoever it is.
That was Lorelai.
Okay, Lorelai.
Because it was Lorelai and then Rory.
Okay,
it was Lorelai, the same name.
So Lorelai has
watched a lot of WB in the early 2000s.
Lorelai has a
Smallville represent.
By the way, you would fucking love Bad Santa. So you need to watch Bad Santa.
Billy Bob Thornton, I had a roommate that watched it all the time. I just never sat there and watched it with him.
But Lorelai has a Santa fetish in that, and the first night they start writing, she's like, fuck me Santa. So that would be Erica, you're saying.
Oh, wow. So anyway, Christmas morning is always a little I have to pump Erica up because there's an inevitable disappointment because she builds it up. And then Drew's going to wake up and not care. And so it's going to be sad.
Yeah.
So I have to our Christmases are just different. So I'll tell you
I know that you talk about you love giving gifts to the nieces and the nephews and stuff for that reason.
So I'll tell you. I think for me at this point in life, I'm super lucky that my grandparents, my mom's parents, and my dad's dad are all still alive, but my mom's dad is 90.
Wow.
My gramps last Friday, so my dad's birthday, he turned 69 last Thursday.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday. I met Papa Scone at UCLA before the LSU.
Dude, you've met Gramps. Gramps came to Don Juan.
Oh, that's right.
Remember when he was fucking holding court at the corner of the bar?
Yeah.
He's a G. Gramps is a G.
Legend
he's
of the
90
game.
And he'll rock. He'll give me a cocktail and let's pretty sharp. He remembers his stories, names, restaurants, boom, he's sharp. So but for Gramps makes I've told you this. So Gramps' grandfather was a mixologist, bartender.
Yes.
Garter on the arm.
A classic.
In old New Orleans, late 1800s, early 1900s. And so anyway, our family gatherings are always there's always old fashions. So so when you get there, they're always soaking in the fruit. Whoever's hosting, the alcohol's soaking it. All you got to do is add ice and stir. Ooh. So that's probably what I would say. I'm fired up.
That's a great tradition.
Sunday we'll get to my cousin Steven's house. Shout out, Stephen Mumford, Baton Rouge General. We'll get to Steven's house, and bro, there will be old fashions ready to rock, and I'll have a toast of Gramps, who's 90, and that's probably my answer.
I drank that pre-bottled old fashioned that you gave me.
Oh yeah, that's Sazerac Company makes
me
that.
and my buddy Sarah did while watching It's a Wonderful Life last week.
I got more stuff for you too. And I gotta make room.
Keep it coming, dude, because I've almost cleared it out now.
No fucking
bro, we're
way.
down to 6 bottles.
How many did I give you?
15. We've been going ham, dude. I mean, there is nothing finer that's hitting than a little snifter at night. And 1 turns into 2, turns into 3. I'm taking notes. I'm all happy. I'm watching
you gotta
sports.
Are you drinking the neat rocks? What are you doing?
I drink everything.
Cocktail?
I think no. I drink everything just with a couple of rocks.
Okay. You got to remember what you like. Because this is how you'll develop your palate and your flavor profile, and we can decide.
So there is. Oh shit!
This is the longest Scone T ever.
I know. I got to remember
20
one.
minutes over. And I haven't just gone turned off.
There is one that I really.
Now we're talking about.
We'll get it.
Now we're talking about old fashions and whiskey, and now I'm in.
Okay. I got 3 more questions. 3 more questions here. Von Bluesman, ask Scone T.
Is anybody still watching?
Yeah, I think we still got a lot of viewers, dude. Let's see. We got 261. We're going up. We're climbing.
Wow.
Let's fucking go, boys. My fucking partners. This is my fucking boys. And look, maybe I'm wrong on the Rick stuff. I don't know. Chad was saying that earlier in the show. You look that up while I read this question. Von Bluesman says, but I'm saying, text. Yeah. Ask Scone T, do you see any position he'd sign later on the miss the signing period? Like Matt talked about, if Ricks does go to Alabama, DB remains a need. You could add offensive line depth. It is. It's true. What they're saying? What's going on?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? So cornerback remains a major need, then. Can we get Eli Ricks back? Does that mean that Ricks is done, dude?
He can go pro. He'll test well at the combine. That's a bummer.
And Eli Ricks. My bad. I recognize that both are Ricks there.
All right, questions. That's a bummer.
Well, okay.
It's never done until it's done.
But if those guys are saying the way they are, then it's done. It's probably done.
But that's as good a person as I could have who said, yeah, I think so.
Von Bluesman says, do you see any position needs to sign later that we missed on the signing period? We mentioned cornerback. Obviously. Offensive line, you said you could add depth if you want.
The other thing I'll tell you is you have to look at it, and no one wants to have this conversation because every time I bring it up, y'all fucking yell at me. But it's quarterback. If Jaden leaves or if Nush transfers or any scenario unfolds, you need depth at that position.
I don't think you could ever go wrong adding a quarterback.
I say that all the time, and I get yelled at because it's insecure fans that are like,
holla, bro, Merry Christmas, man.
Man, I was trying to fist bump lead, and he just...
Well, but no, we were doubled up in the fist bump, so we got caught in a weird in-between space. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do?
It's my guy, Lee. Bowie Outfitters. Yeah. Support local businesses. Go see Lee at Bowie Outfitters.
Yeah,
Great
I
dude.
agree. Great dude.
Great dude.
Great dude. Think about a badass knife at the Don Juan.
You've got to have you got to have options at quarterback. LSU in 2018 got really lucky. Remember they brought in Burrow, they went into camp, Narcisse and McMillan both left, and you had Burrow and second-year Miles Brennan.
Yeah.
And Brennan, we learned out later, was hurt, or we found out later, learned later, was hurt, and so you basically had Burrow. And it was that was it. If he got hurt, you were fucked.
You were fucked.
It's you can't do that.
Well, actually, yeah, that was the year. And even in 2019, I remember Miles had the back injury. And, like, if Burrow went down, you were fucked, weren't you? Like, what was your contingency plan in 19 if Burrow had gotten hurt? Because Miles was secretly hurt the entire season and nobody knew about it.
That was 18. That was 18.
My bad.
Yeah, no, that was 18. Because, and so Burrow did get hurt and still played because you didn't have Miles available.
Yeah.
That was 18. You had 2 scholarship quarterbacks.
Daniel Bash says, ask Scone T. Or is this Raymond? Raymond says, ask Scone T. What happened with Jordan Matthews and Curly Reed, 2 4-stars of corner reading it? I don't know. I don't know recruiting well enough. Ask Scone T. Currently have Jingle All the Way in the background. Which one of you is Turbo Man and who is Booster? Matt is Booster.
Who's who?
I am Turbo Man. You never seen Jingle All the Way? The great part about Jingle All the Way, no, it doesn't at all. And I knew when I asked it. But the great part about Jingle All the Way,
watched Elf last night.
Is Arnold? Oh, really? For first time?
No, I've seen Elf a million times.
Okay, well, Jingle All the Way is kind of a classic as well, dude. But not like Elf. No, Elf's great.
When people mention Christmas movies, hey, your favorite, they're like Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life.
How about
Elf,
this?
like
Elf directed. Elf.
There's like 4 or 5.
Elf directed by who? Jon Favreau. Who also did Boogie Nights shit, but what I care about is he did that.
Rudy.
He did Iron Man. He's in Rudy. I don't know if he directed Rudy. I don't think he did.
He didn't direct
but he's
Rudy.
in Rudy.
He was the fucking
he's like the friend.
Who's the wild man now?
Yes.
So good.
My point is, though, he directs Elf. He directs Iron Man. Bro, he fucking directed Mandalorian. Season 1, he's a fucking beast. Star Wars legend now, dude. Shout out Favreau. You would love Mandalorian. You should watch Mandalorian, dude.
You forgot one.
He's in Fort Christmas. He's great in that. I don't think he directed it.
You got many, actually.
No. I mean, Favreau's resume is large. Are you thinking of The Replacements when he's a linebacker, the SWAT team linebacker? Other Favreau movies. Are you thinking director or actor? What are you thinking here? Both. I said Iron Man. I said Elf. I said Boogie Nights. I don't know. What?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
What is that? I don't know what that is. What is that? What are we talking about? What's Vegas, baby? I've been there pretty good. I was pretty good.
Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Matt's Booster.